Good. So this evening we are going to start in sitting or kneeling. So if you'd like to make your way to a comfortable place to be, where you're going to be steady and supported and at ease for the next 8 minutes or so. So you could sit with your back against a wall if you like, or in a chair, just doing whatever you need. And we'll just find those good foundations. We'll settle into our pose, and then I'll waffle at you about this evening. So let's just settle down. Let's lift the sternum, roll the shoulders back a few times and let them just start to settle down. Relax those arms down onto the lap, soften into the fingertips. Find the good foundations between yourself and the ground. And then lift up through the spine, lift up through the neck spine. Softly close the eyes and just check those shoulders again and anywhere where you know that you might hold tension. So a lot of us hold that in the jaw. So just softening the jawline, the lips, making sure there's space between the back teeth. Just have those eyes really softly closed, like butterfly wings just touching. And the temples, the forehead. And maybe just running the awareness down the back of the neck, back into the shoulder blades, into the shoulders, wherever you know that you might hold. Maybe into your lower back, could be somewhere else entirely. And then whenever you're ready, just come to the flow of the breath. Noticing how the breath is feeling right now. So we notice the depth and the rhythm, temperature, and whether one side is flowing more freely than the other. Just this sense of curiosity, this investigation. And throughout March, we've been looking at the Vayus, this concept of the different energies in the body that are all to do with the prana, the life force. So our last one is Vyana Vayu, V-Y-A-N-A. And this is the one that really powers all of the others. It's like our second lot of energy. So when it's depleted, we do know about it, but when it's operating properly, it governs the circulation and all the fluids in the body. So it comes from the belly, it comes from the Manipur chakra, the Svadhisthana chakra, all that area, from where this samana energy is that digests, that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. So this one takes that energy and takes it into the bloodstream, going around the body, and also the lymphatic system that takes things away. And it governs the fluids entering all the tissues, the fascia. And also the motion of consciousness through the body. And into the koshas, into the layers of the body, into the energetic layer. So we can imagine the energetic layer like the Ready Brek advert of old. So this energy is not only throughout our circulatory systems, but also goes out to our energetic layer. Let's have that feeling now with your breath. this energy coursing through your body, through your layers and into your energetic layer. You could liken this energy to rivers of energy that go through us. If that visualization works for you. A smooth running of fluid, of water. And when this energy is depleted, we can feel senses of separation, alienation. Our thoughts can be scattered. We can suffer from poor circulation. And we remedy this through breath awareness and pranayama. And we'll keep this idea of the rivers of energy, rivers of breath, going throughout our practice this evening. And for now, we'll drop the chin down towards the chest. Keeping the eyes very softly closed, we'll just gently roll the head to one shoulder and then back to the other shoulder. And just gently do this a few times, perhaps working with the inhalation one way and the exhalation the other way. And then next time you come to the center, we'll just hold that stretch into the back of the neck. Have this little tuck into the chins. This is accessing the Jalandhara bandha, the energy lock at the throat. Jala means river, water. Then gently opening the eyes, and when you're ready, lifting the chin. And we're going to sit with our legs outstretched, just over hip width apart. We're going to start our practice this evening with some Tibetan massage. So for this, you could have the legs straight or you could have them bent. And I'll talk us through 2 rounds and then I'll leave you to it for 2 or 3 rounds. And the reason why we're going to, there's a few reasons. So there's touch. So you don't have to touch yourself. You can just run the hand over the energetic layer if you'd rather do that, or a mixture of the two. So there's touch, which is very important, as we know. And it really helps to get the lymphatic system moving. So you know when the lymphatic system's really at its best because we have clear skin, and we have that sort of alive quality, that glow, natural glow. Whereas when it's stuck, the lymph, we can have, little baggy bits under the eyes. That's one of my telltale ones. And we could just be a bit dull in the complexion. But we should all be glowing, shouldn't we, if we've been outside today? So let's take the left hand onto the right shoulder. So I'm not mirroring you for this one. There's no breath pattern, just make sure that you are breathing. And then take that hand down the top of the right arm to the fingertips, and then up the inside of the arm. You take it across the top of the chest, take both hands down the outside of the torso, the outside of the legs, you can bend the knees down to the feet, and then up the insides of the legs, up the front of the body, over the face, so you don't have to touch, over the hair, again, don't have to touch, then down the back of the neck, and then bring the right hand to the left shoulder, do the same. So we go down the outside of the arm, up the inside of the arm into the armpit, and then across, outside of the body, outsides of the legs, down to the feet, up the insides of the legs, up the front, over the face, and to the neck. So that's one round. So we start again with left hand to right shoulder, down the outside of the arm, up the inside into the armpit, across, down the outsides, all the way down to the feet, up the insides, front of the body, over the face, the hair, the head, back of the neck, and then down the whichever arm that is, the left one, and up the inside, across, down the outsides of the body, outsides of the legs, inside legs, and then up and over. So carry on for 3 rounds more, just in your own time. You don't have to count the rounds. I'll let you know when we're done. And if you get lost, then just have a look at where I am and maybe pick it up from there. So just finishing the round that you're on, whenever you come to the end of that round. And when you do, just draw the legs to a comfortable place, rest for a moment, shut your eyes, be with the body. Be with the breath, the energy, just see how that feels. Okay, so that, I think that's a rather lovely practice. And it was taught to me by the guy that I was doing Tibetan meditation with a few years ago. So Martin does it like a ninja Tibetan massager. He goes really, really fast. But as I've practiced it over the years, I like to slow it down, but it's a really, individual thing. So you can take that away with you, and I think it's great. It's great. I think it'd be really nice for kids to do as well, actually. They'd probably ninja it, wouldn't they? I would imagine. So let's sit with the legs outstretched and nice and tall in the backs, and just take the legs so they're a little apart, so they're just over hip width apart. And just tucking that navel to keep the spine an integral part and working. And we're just going to flop the feet out to the side and then back in. So quite quickly. So the movement's coming from the thigh into the hip. So we're rattling the lymphatic system here. We're doing a lot of about the lymphatic system on my immune therapy course. And so we're getting little bits of it thrown in here, there and everywhere. But this is quite a nice one. But also with, really oiling this hip socket. Getting a bit of energy, prana going. Think about that Vyana Vayu. And then we'll just gradually bring that to a gentleness and then to a stillness. I'm going to draw the right knee in towards the chest, so hold either back of thigh or onto shin, and then straighten the back. And just move the foot a little, so point and flex the foot a few times. And then we'll draw some circles with the big toe a few times one way. And back the other way. Then we're going to do 3 rounds of knee to chest. So as we do this, we'll draw the knee in. You can dip the chin down if you want, and then we stretch it away. So you can stretch out at 45 degrees, or you can stretch out along the ground if that's better for you. Just go with how your body is this evening. Don't lose the integrity of the spine with this. Don't collapse. So let's take a breath out and draw the right knee in. You can tuck the chin in. Then breathe in and stretch the leg either at 45 degrees or along the ground, if that's better. And then exhale, lower the leg down. Keep a straight leg if you can do. If you've got it raised, doesn't matter if you bend it. And draw the knee up, ready for your next exhalation. So we'll do that 2 more times. When you finish those 3 rounds, if you've had a straight leg, you might like to just give that thigh a little bit of TLC because they're very heavier legs. And then we'll go to the other side. So we'll draw the left knee in and we'll do a little point and flex. A little bit of circling. A little bit of circling the other way. And then we'll do 3 rounds of knee to chest. So just as before, just noticing or understanding that it may be different on this side to the other, and being kind to yourself in accordance with that. The 3 rounds all together. And there may be a little TLC. Okay. And then come to a bent knee position, have the feet onto the ground. They're a little way away from you, but make sure that they're not too far away so you can have the whole of the sole of the foot onto the ground. We're going to take the hands behind us. So depending on your wrists, you may be able to put the flat of the hand onto the floor. You could have the fingers pointing forward or behind, or you may prefer to come up onto fingertips or onto fists. So because I've got quite dodgy hands, I prefer to go onto fists personally, but it's you work with you. So a little lean back, keep the integrity in that spine again. And then just drawing the navel and the pelvic floor. Breathe in and raise the right leg. Keep the gaze onto the right toes. And then breathe out and lower the right foot to the ground. Go to the other side, breathe in, raise the left foot. Breathe out, lower to the ground. So we're going to do that twice more to each side in your own time. Perhaps imagining those rivers of energy, perhaps feeling the energy into the energetic field, that pranamaya kosha. Whenever it is you finish those rounds, come up and come to this seated child's pose where we wrap the arms around the shins or the hands to the shins and just let the head come down. My new favourite way of doing child's pose. So we're going to come up again and we're going to take the feet a little further away, have those soles of the feet on the ground. This time I'd like you to sort of bring in a little bit of like a wave-like motion. So I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to breathe in, take the arms out to the sides gently and gracefully. And then we breathe out, we're going to engage everything here and come forward, but then round. So engage and then soften. So these qualities of water, of movement, the breathing in, coming back, joining in whenever you want. Breathing out, engaging, and then releasing as you soften down. Let's do that a few times. It's like, I don't know, it feels like to me like a wave as we've got this elegant gracefulness, this fluid movement. So the next time you exhale and come forward, then come back to that seated child's. You could have the feet quite far away, or you could draw them further in towards the body, whatever suits you, wherever you'd like to be. Just come to the breath as you come to this pose. And then from the same starting position, so take the feet out and we're going to take the hands just a little way behind. Don't lean back into them, just take them a little way behind. And we're just going to take the right knee out to the side, just as far as is comfortable, going on the outside of the foot and then bringing that knee back up to centre and going to the other side. So just getting some movement into the hip socket. Do that a few times. You can work with your breath with this if you like to. Just make sure the breath is flowing, but you may like to do the movements, marry the movement and breath together. And maybe do one more to each side, finishing with the left leg. And then when the left leg comes up for the last time, we're going to take both knees out. When we bring both knees out, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, lift up with the body and the hands. And the hands can come onto the legs. The feet can be far away or they can be closer towards you. If you can bind your hands around the feet without collapsing in the back, so if you can keep a nice straight back, then do so. Otherwise, the hands can rest onto the ankles or the shins or the knees. And just rest there with the breath in this Baddha Konasana, the cobbler pose. Keep a tuck in the navel and the pelvic floor. The rhythm and the rhythm of the breath and the river of the breath. And then we'll gently lift up. We're going to, we haven't done our twist yet. So we're going to engage my brain. Yes, we're going to stretch the right leg away, bring the left foot in. So I'll come to this side. Bring the left foot in. So the left foot is flat on the floor, and you could put a fist in between the leg and the foot, and then we flex the right foot. So we're going to do an open twist from here. Normally we would go that way over the left there. We're going to come around to the right. So you bring the left hand onto the right leg somewhere. The other hand comes behind onto the fingertips, so you don't collapse into the back. You need to be nice and tall into the back. Keep the left knee upright, don't let it fall out. And then nice and tall in the spine. So it's better to be on your fingertips. If you're on your hand, you're likely to lean back. If you want to keep that upright position. Nice and tall in the spine. Just imagine that river of breath, that river of energy in the spine now. And the wave of the breath. And now, keeping in this same position, I'm going to breathe in and then breathe out. Just turn the head to the left, just as far as is right for you to go. Breathe in and bring the head back to center. And then breathe out to the other side. And do this once more to each side. Twists are excellent for moving the lymph around the body. We don't want to push it too far with the neck. And when the head comes back to center again, then with your next in-breath, bring the body back to center and stretch that leg out. Reorganize yourself a little, and then we can go to the other side. This time, the left leg extends, the right foot comes in. Make sure you have that little gap so that the knee is aligned with the hip. Right hand to left leg, and then those left fingers behind. And you're nice and tall in this open aspect. Come to the breath, find that rhythm and river. And then as you're ready, we're going to take the gaze to the right this time with an exhale. And then inhale to the center and exhale to the right. Inhale, center, and then do that just one more time each side. When you come back to the center, then use a breath in, come around, stretch the leg away, realign the back, maybe have a little wobble out of the legs. And then we're going to come onto all fours. So if you'd like padding underneath the knees, please do place a blanket there. And the knees are underneath the hips, hands are in a comfortable place for you. Soften those elbows. And just establish yourself in a flat back position to begin with. Little tuck into the navel, the pelvic floor, not too much, just to have that integrity there. And then take the awareness to your tailbone, and we're just going to take it from side to side. So it's like if you were a lizard, imagine a lizard's tail going from side to side as it walks along. That sort of motion. A little movement into the hips. And then we'll bring the hips to stillness. And we'll work our way into traditional cat bend. So we're breathing in and softening, shoulders down, and then opening up. Then breathing out and drawing in as usual, arching the spine, and the chin drops down. This is an opportunity in cat for us to come to the spine and find the fluidity there. In fact, in the whole of the movement, a little bit of bounce into the shoulders maybe. What you could, if you like to do so, you could take the hips further back towards the heels on the exhalation, but that is just a suggestion, you don't have to. Just encourages a little more movement into the spine and the shoulders. It's entirely up to you. And after your next exhalation, just bring those hips back to the heels and come to a child's pose of your choice. If that's not comfortable this evening, you could do the seated child's that we did earlier. Come to your breath. Feel the breath moving in the back body, within the spine. And then from here, we're going to come to a prone Shavasana, so lying on our tummies. One hand on top of the other, or one forearm on top of the other, and the head nestling down. The legs wherever is comfortable for you, the feet wherever is comfortable for you. And then maybe just having a little waggle from side to side with the hips. Just softening and loosening, and also a little bit of lymphatic there as well. And from here, we're going to find stillness and then do some leg raises. So a little strengthening into the legs. So on an inhale, we'll raise the right leg up. Keep it straight as you can do and keep the pelvis on the ground. As you exhale, lowering the leg down. And then inhale, raising that left leg up. And exhaling, lowering. And do this 2 more times to each side. Keep that pelvis onto the ground. Work with your breath. Smooth and steady. And then if it feels okay for your back, you could do 3 raises with both legs, but only if that feels all right for your back. If that's not right, then just stay as you are in resting pose. Otherwise, just using an inhalation, trying to keep the legs straight again. Raising both legs up and then lowering down. Noticing the effect on the back, and the buttocks, on the legs as you do this. And when you've completed those rounds, whenever that is, just finding that soft place to be. So then we're going to lift up into Sphinx pose. So we're coming up onto the forearms, the elbows. The elbows are in line with the shoulders and just ahead of the shoulders. The hands are flat onto this, but I've got a cramp in a foot, so my brain's gone to the foot. The palms of the hands in contact with the ground, the shoulders down, and the gaze just ahead of you. And again, just come back to that rhythm, breath of life force throughout the body. You may or may not be feeling it as a tingle. Doesn't matter if you don't feel anything at all, of course, but you may feel it. So you could stay in Sphinx if that's where you'd like to be this evening, or you could join me in a few rounds of Cobra. A stronger back bend is doing the right thing for you. So if you're joining me in Cobra, we'll have the hands parallel to the cheeks, next to the cheeks, and the elbows are onto the ground and just tucked into the body. The legs, wherever is comfortable for you. We'll tuck the chin in, and then as we breathe in, we're going to lift up, pushing through the hands. Keep the shoulders down as you lift. The elbows stay soft, and then we lift the chin and look ahead. And then as we exhale, we gently lower down, bending the elbows, keeping them close to the body if you can, and then touching down. So we'll do this a few times if that's okay for you this evening. Engaging the pelvic floor and the navel if you're lifting. And if you do a few and then go, do you know what, I've had enough, you can come to Sphinx or just rest out of it. You could experiment with having the legs together or the legs apart. And you can also experiment by lifting, but not putting any pressure through the palms of the hands. That makes it slightly stronger, a lot stronger on the back. So the hands just sort of hovercraft on the floor if you're doing that. Then you could apply pressure at the end to lift if you wanted. Lots of options to play around with. It's a very playful pose as well as being extremely strengthening. Maybe just another couple of more lifts. Of course, relaxing out whenever you feel that you should do. Listening to your bodies. As soon as bodies say, I'm finding an edge, you go, right, okay, I'll pull back a bit. And just releasing down to the ground if you haven't already. And we'll make our way back to that child's pose. So we get a little counter pose. And we'll be making our way up to standing in a second. So if you do have socks on, if you could slip them off. And coming up to standing, we're either going to come up through down dog or you could just come up to a forward fold in a safe way for you this evening. For down dog, we tuck the toes under and then lift the hips up. Just arrange ourselves when we get there. If you're in forward fold, just have those knees very softly bent. And we can go for a little walk on the spot, whichever pose you've adopted. Then if you're in down dog, we can take that little walk on the spot to an actual walk up to the hands. And then come to forward fold, softening the knees down, softening the hands down, just coming to the breath. And then we'll gently roll up. Just let the hand travel up, keep the chin in. And then we'll come up to standing. And we'll have a little rearrange and a drink. Okay, let's find Tadasana. We're going to be moving into a little routine called the albatross tonight, which is just like roller coaster, but just with one extra thing. So quite a gentle evening in that respect. Have that line of the rise of energy from shoulder through hips, through knees, down to the ground. Just feel connected between soles of feet and ground. Tuck in pelvic floor, draw in the navel, lift the sternum, shoulders down, arms long and strong. And have a steady gaze to whatever you have opposite you, or just gently closing the eyes if you wish. And then we come back to those rivers of energy, rhythms of energy, circulating around the body, but also into our energetic layer, that ready breath analogy, if that works for you. Just tuning in with these properties of the Vyana Vayu. And then we'll just gently release and take the feet a little wider so you're facing the long edge of your mat. The feet are wide apart and they're parallel to each other. We'll bring the hands to the heart center first of all, palm to palm. Just tune back in here. Have those knees just slightly soft, make sure they're not locking out. And take the arms up and we're doing as if you're taking hold of a beach ball. And we're going to soften the knees a little bit more, breathe in. And then as you breathe out, go over to one side, doesn't matter which side, just carry that ball of either beach ball or ball of energy around, and then breathe in and lift back up again. I'll do this a few times. And the next time you lift up, do a few to the other side. Keeping those knees soft all the time. And then the next time you lift up, we'll come to stillness. And we'll take the arms above the head. Keep them nice and soft, bright. Keep those arms nice and floaty. Breathe in, back up. Breathe out to the other side. Breathe in, back up. Now soften the knees, breathe out and come down. So you could come down to halfway or lower yourselves all the way down. And just soften through the backs of the legs. So we'll either with your hands on the thighs or on the ground, we'll just spend a moment there softening. With the breath, just releasing into the backs of the thighs, into the lower back. And then just as we were doing roller coaster, we're going to breathe in and raise the right arm so it comes either to the waist or you're extending up. And then breathe out and float the arm down. Breathe in and go to the other side, so hand to waist or extending. Breathe out and float down. And then take the arms out. These are your albatross wings. Bend the knees fully. And then breathe in. You're pushing through the feet, leaping off the cliff, soaring through the sky. So look up if you'd like to. And then lift back up. Bring your wings up. Start again. We'll go over to the right. And then up to the center. And over to the left. Up to the center. Fall down really softly now. So really gracefully, like a waterfall. And then breathe in, lift up to the right. Breathe out and float down. Breathe in to the other side. Breathe out and float down. Now bend the knees fully, wings out, breathe in, push to the feet and lift and soar. Open the chest and then up. Bring the arms up. Exhale over. Lift. Exhale to the other side. And then lift. Waterfall down. Down. Nice and soft. Breathe into the right. Just a beautiful, graceful movement. And then down, just imagining that albatross coursing over the sea. Go over to the left. And then down. Keep your wings wide, bend the knees, push through the feet and lift up. Now this time, take the weight onto your right foot. I'll mirror you. Take the left toes to the outside. Bend the right arm. Take the index finger and thumb together and take the left hand underneath that elbow. So you've got your right leg is a standing leg, left toes on the outside. You've got the right leg, right arm bent and the other arm underneath. And then you could lift that leg if you like. And have the foot at a jaunty angle if that suits you. You don't have to take the feet off the floor if you don't want to. And then we'll take that leg wide out to the side and swap the arms over and swap the feet over. So this is Lord Shiva's dance. Now we're going to move it. So let's take a breath in, then a breath out, we'll move, and breath in, we'll lift. Good. And move and lift. So bringing that, still that graceful, fluid movement. Side to side in your own time, with your own breath. No given numbers of times for anything, just to suit you. So wherever you are, let's just do 2 more rounds. And we'll finish here. Place the foot down, bring Bring the hands around, bring them to the heart. Close the eyes or have a soft gaze, just take that awareness within. And then finally we need to bring all of that together, integrate, absorb. Most important part of our yoga practice, this. We're going to come down for relaxation. So pop your warm things on, gather your blankets, etc. Make yourselves warm and as comfortable as you like. So you don't have to have the legs outstretched. They could be supported with bolsters or pillows. They could be up the wall. They could be supported onto a chair or onto a bed. Make some room here. And you can use an eye covering if you'd like to. Just taking your time to settle down. To relax into the ground in a way that's good for you. Allowing the whole body to release, to relax down. Feeling the sensations between body and ground. Relaxing into the tips of the toes and the tips of the fingers. Releasing the whole of the back. Softening the small of the back. Releasing the abdomen. Softening the space between the shoulder blades. Allowing the rib cage to move freely with the breath. The legs are heavy and soft all the way down to the soles of the feet and the toes. Shoulders are soft, the arms all the way down to the fingertips. The neck is long, the throat open. And the face relaxed through the jaw, the lips, the cheekbones. The forehead. Then come to the natural wave of the breath. And we're going to do a little bit of humming for just 10 rounds. You'll just take the tongue onto the top palate, just behind the top teeth. And we take an inhale. And then do that 9 more times. Mm. 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 Gently allowing the breath to rest in its natural wave. Which Sandra Sabatini describes. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And as you breathe, the spine can be touched and touched and touched again until it floats. It's like a breeze running through a field of grass. The body always moves in round movements. There is nothing vertical. Movements are like waves. You have to go with them. Each time you breathe in and each time you breathe out, it's like offering your body to this wave that runs up and down the whole length of your body. At the end of the out-breath, the pelvis and legs respond by sinking deeply into the ground. The inhalation that follows naturally resembles a surging up of a spring. Feel nourished by it. The back of the spine is like the bed of a river. The breath is the river. You sense at the same time the riverbed, the river sides, and the flowing river. Be with the wave and with the river now for a few minutes of silence. You and your breath. From Dana Folds. When the sun rises in the heart, the only response to life, shouted, sung, or whispered, the bridge between what came before and now, the single, simple answer to all prayers, the life-changing voice of spirit says with certainty and strength, a resounding, clear, unequivocal yes to all that is. Now gently come back to the sensation of your body on the ground. Sensation of clothes and air on your skin. The sounds within your room and the sounds beyond your room. Your place in your room, the things around you. Just orientating yourself through sound, through touch, through your energetic field even. And then maybe just moving the lips a little, taking the tip of the thumb across the tips of the fingers, perhaps twiddling the toes. Maybe gradually extending that movement into wrists, into ankles, being careful of any eye covering, maybe taking the head from one side to the other. And stretching out perhaps in a way that feels like the right thing for you to do right now. Maybe rolling over onto one side when you feel the right time has approached to do that, if that feels even right for you to do at all this evening. And then in a very careful, steady, measured manner, bring yourselves up to sitting, keeping those eyes softly closed. And you might like to practice palming, rubbing those hands together briskly, creating warmth. And when you're ready, cupping them over the closed eyes, allowing the eyes to blink open into that safe, warm space before letting the light very gently trickle in. So we'll complete our practice this evening by chanting the mantra Om 3 times. So let's take a deep inhalation. Om. 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 Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me